Well, he's a former kickboxing champion, boxer, and holds a formidable record in bare-knuckle boxing. And on Saturday, November the 26th, at the famous Epsom Downs Racecourse in Surrey, he takes on Quest British Cruiserweight champion Danny Worsfold in a mouth-watering clash. And today, I'm here up at Club KO in Essex to talk to the challenger, Danylo Hrebeniuk. Well, Danilo, it's great to see you here. Obviously, we're at Club KO in Essex ahead of an absolutely mouth-watering fight. Stepping in to face Danny Worsfold, the Quest British Cruiserweight champion, on the 26th of November. But first and foremost, it's the first time that we've spoken. First interview for Quest TV. So how are you?
I'm good, I'm really good. Thank you for having me, and thank you for this interview and for the fight, because I've been starving for fights for all this half year being in UK, but being already settled now and in a good shape and hungry for the fights, and now you gave me this opportunity and it's a title shot, so thanks a lot. I'm feeling great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I've got to say, there are certain fights throughout the season that you know are going to be special. There's certain fights where you really, really look forward to it, and that's down to the caliber of the fighters, the sort of the styles of the fighters. And I know that even though this is your debut in Quest, from what I've seen of your background in terms of a former kickboxing champion, boxer, and also a formidable record in sort of bare knuckle boxing, and the footage that I've seen you up against arguably one of the most explosive punchers in the Quest competition, Danny Worsfold, who is the current champion, I kind of get that feeling that this is going to be one of those fights that when it's all said and done, when the dust settles down, people are going to be talking about this fight for years and years to come. So let's dive into it straight away. So for the Quest fans that haven't seen anything of you, give us a little bit of a background about your combat record, how you first got into fighting, and what led you to obviously be here in the UK.
Well, first of all, thank you again for such a big representation of me, you know, and of this fight, you know. Like, I think it's a big. You're saying it a little bit in advance about the years, because I don't like prediction in the fights. Me myself, never. Because, you know, behind your back there's the poster of Roberto Duran, you know, and watching his fights, you know, I still understand that all of us needs lots of work to do. But what I'm pretty confident in is like, I know I've seen just one footage of my opponent, and yeah, he's aggressive. But I also fight, and like we will show a good fight anyway. I don't like predictions because the guy is heavier, of course. Like, my weight is 84 maximum. He's like 91 category. He's champion there. I've seen he's bulky. I don't know if he cutting or not, but he will be heavier than me. Maybe he's taller, but it will just bring, you know, styles make fights, and we are different in this way. And like, I hope we will like answer. We will give a good answer to such a big waiting. Like, I mean,
the build-up.
Expecting, if you're saying they are. Yeah. So about my background. So the background is basically, I've started doing kickboxing, like it was boxing, but in this gym they were competing only in kickboxing. So I did more with the hands, but legs still work because I had to do it on competition. And it was about 13 years old. I was about 13 years old. 14 years old, I won my first nationals in those ages. And since then, I like this thing. Then like, when I was in university, I quit for about 2-3 years, I guess. 2-3 years, yeah. I was working, I had a break, and then I came back in a couple of boxing championships, and then it was COVID. And then after COVID, like before I quit, I was like national champion, but when I came back, it was the COVID when I was preparing for nationals in Ukraine, and just in a month it came an option to do bare knuckle, like legally, open in YouTube. Lots of viewings, great Mahach promotion. It was a great league, great fighting league, which made it like on the biggest level with the boxing stars as well, like the main coach Senchenko Vyacheslav, who knocked out Ricky Hatton to the liver. It was the main coach there. I mean, lots of names, lots of top fighters training, all this. So it gave me like a quick comeback, a quick comeback to the shape, and also, bare knuckle fighting is something which makes you stronger inside, I guess, because after those emotions, I mean, boxing is just different. You just feel it different after bare knuckle. Yeah, of course, it's still dangerous sport, and I'm pretty aware of that. Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be, for me personally, like I've been around and involved in boxing for a long, long time, but there's a different kind of what I'd call gut check, where for somebody to move from putting on boxing, putting the gloves on, still a dangerous sport, still obviously risks involved, but when somebody tells you that it's bare knuckle, it's quite a sort of an emotive feeling when someone says, do you want to fight bare knuckle? Because, like I say, you've got to have balls, is the only way I'm going to say it, to actually go in there, because it's a different, although it's still hands and it's still obviously, it's a combat sport, but that, I think it's just more in the kind of the mindset that if you're prepared to go in there bare knuckle and go toe to toe with somebody and fight it out, it kind of shows the kind of character, because there's a lot of people out there that, they need the perfect training camp, they need the perfect sort of set of circumstances just to get inside the ring, but, it definitely says something about your character to be able to sort of take that challenge and step through the, step through the ropes. I mean, the footage, I think it was more kind of, was it more in the kind of hay bales, the sort of, the setup, it wasn't in a ring, some of the fights that you did?
Like it was the circle type of the ring.
Yep.
So you could just, it's basically same rules as boxing, but except one, you have the active clinch. For example, I could grab the guy and
Yep.
work, and nobody stops until it's active, so I can finish him right there as well. So, but other than that, I understand it might be pretty wild for somebody. I understand it 100%. But on the other hand, it was in Ukraine. It was not much opportunities at all for people who like me, who done lots of years in the sports, right? And now they want to compete. They want to grow in their thing. So pro boxing, when you have Lomachenko and Usyk, they are different kind of people. They are different. The great people, great stars. And but other than that, it's pretty difficult. So bare knuckle was just an option, an open option for everybody, for people who who are feeling pretty confident and comfortable sometimes fighting without gloves, for example. Yeah, and in the gloves, Muay Thai, lots of fighters, big fighters from all the sports, and it's open for everybody, and it's like pretty fair. So there are medicals, there are insurance, there's everything. If you want it, you can get some money. There were good prizes, everything. So why not? For me, it was like I was always looking for good challenges, because you are either learn or you win. So anyway, you win. So that's how I accept challenges. Like, for example, last one here was the sparring with Anthony Yard in Debden Boxing Academy, and man, I can tell you pretty straight, I was nervous like before the bare knuckle, because the guy is top 10 right now. He had a title shot with Kovalev, now he's gonna have title shot with Beterbiev.
Yep.
Come on, that's the guy with balls. That's the guy with those are real animals. I mean, those guys. That's the level. So, but after those, no matter how it goes, I mean, it was alright. It was pretty alright. I mean, I gave myself a good, mark for this. Yeah. But after this, you feel like you're overcoming yourself. You just feel this life different a bit, and I like it. So that's why I'm going there, not because that's just my interest.
I mean, funnily enough, Anthony Yard obviously is a fantastic fighter. I promoted Anthony's first ever fight.
Really?
Yeah, he'd never had a competitive fight before, and he boxed on a platform called Queensbury Boxing League, and I promoted his first ever contest. So
wow.
He's a really nice guy, but a proper talent. So, like you say, you're sparring with the likes of world-class operators in Anthony Yard. I know I've seen sort of pictures of you down at the Dennis and Dyer gym as well, sort of sparring with the likes of Simeon Dennis and a few of the other fighters. So obviously the preparation for yourself is well, but I want to turn my attention to the champion Danny Worsfold. So, break him down as an opponent. From what you've seen of him, we've seen the explosive KO power that's knocked out both his opponents inside the first round, but for you, the little that you've seen of him, what's dangerous about Danny?
Maybe I've seen another footage. Maybe it was not from the Quest's fight. Maybe it was another fight, because it was like pretty here and there. But definitely what I got, he has a punch. Definitely has a punch. He has pretty good upper body. So he's definitely not the guy you want to miss punches from, right? So definitely. And I don't like missing a lot from anyone, no matter weight, no matter. I mean, when I came here and I had a booked fight in Poland, bare knuckle, already when I came here, but I didn't do documents here, but I already had a booked fight in Poland. But then I realized I can't go with my new documents, because after Ukraine I haven't sorted out everything. So I called Noel and asked him for sparring, because I'm calling, please, is there any sparrings here, because I'm not local to area, I don't know, he's like, okay, come 10:30. And there's Thomas. Thomas' weight was 120, and he's a pretty good boxer, and pretty with the heart, with everything. Yeah. So you don't want to miss the punch from that guy either. So I mean, I have a lot of practice working with heavyweights, and I actually enjoy it somehow, some way. But we will see. It's still dangerous. I've seen his other fights. I can understand he has a punch. I also don't know how good is his. I had my 5 rounds recently. I was pretty good, but it wasn't with him. So you can never predict. But I don't care actually.
I love the fact, like I say, that you obviously clearly enjoy the sport. You clearly enjoy being in there and testing yourself, and it's about improving and bettering yourself, and you can't do that against lower level opposition. You've got to be in there with the top level operators to improve yourself, which is the right attitude. But for you as a fighter, what are your strengths? What do you bring to this fight that means that if I was Danny Worsfold and I was thinking, what have I got to be careful of? What are your best attributes? What's your strengths and your weaknesses?
Good question. Very good question. I would say everything. What I mean is not that I'm a perfect guy, but I like boxing in its variety. Because boxing is different. There are lots of styles of boxing. There is like post-Soviet Union countries, like Ukrainians as well, Russians, like this bouncing. There are Cubans who are like dancing. There are Mexicans who are brawling more. There are Americans who are doing everything. Yep. And UK boxing is also like pretty similar to our amateur boxing. I would say Ukrainian, like post-Soviet Union. Our boxers are mixing it all together. Usyk, Lomachenko, different movements. So I really enjoy the sports. I'm watching everybody. As I said, Roberto Duran, I love this guy. I love everybody. Rocky Marciano, from different ages, different styles, and I'm just, trying to do it the best way I can, and it's just, you can never get to the finish in this, there's no finish in this. You are developing, going deeper, and then you see another mistakes, and you are fixing, and then you are like doing some kind of a diamond, it has shapes. So I would make a good diamond, but I'm in process. I'm not saying I'm a good one yet.
Of course, a good all-rounder that you can punch, you can box.
And you can never predict how the fight will go.
Of
so
course.
yeah, that's why you have to adjust, you have to do different. And I stand up, because I had knockdowns in bare knuckle, because it's when it's like just a knuckle,
Yeah.
So it's just it doesn't have to be even very hard punch. It can be just a sharp to the place, and that's it. So. But I stand up, and sometimes, like in my bare knuckles, that's just how it was. I ended up the same round, I was knocked down. Couple like seconds after that, something switches in me.
Yep.
And I know I have this, but I respect the power of opponent. He has this. So I'm not predicting anything, but I'm just predicting I will give my 100%, and we will see what it's gonna be.
Well, I know, like I say, I know it's going to be explosive. I know that, when the pair of you step through the ropes, when you go toe to toe, you're standing in front of each other, getting your final instructions from the referees. I can almost feel what the electricity is going to be like, because at the end of the day, Quest is famous for these sort of 50-50, fighters putting it all on the line, win, lose or draw. You're going in there to give the best account of yourself. And the best fight the best. So we're not that far away from fight night. I know that obviously you've been training hard, but for you to come into the competition and walk away as champion, how would that feel?
Back home a bit. Like, even though I wasn't the champion there, but I'm really, I've lost my championship bout last fight to the good guy, good fighter. But all this like really helps me to build the life again, because that's what all Ukrainians are doing now.
Of course. And
it's a huge part. I mean, it's a huge part. It's a central part of my life. The sports, the competition, and it would feel home a bit, in a way, because of course not 100%, as you understand, like, but it's a big thing, it's a big step, and in a way, like, well, it's sometimes hard to say, to get the good words in this, but I think that's it.
Well, listen, we're as I say, it's a fantastic fight in prospect, an amazing sort of a showdown. The champion Danny Worsfold, will face you as the challenger on Saturday, November the 26th at the Epsom Downs Racecourse in Surrey. So, firstly, thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure chatting to you. And next time out, we will see you at the Epsom Downs Racecourse. It's the main event, and I know it's going to be an absolute cracker. So, I'll let you go now. Again, as I say, thank you for talking to us, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.